Can't nobody take my pride. Can't nobody hold me down. Oh no. I got to keep on diddying. Why does Puff Daddy have a bad stipulation now? Puff Daddy's a good guy. He seems like he's very trustworthy and he seems like a good guy. Cap. Anyways, what's happening to everybody? What's going on? Hope all is well. And I hope you here and excited and ready to learn. Um, Question of the day, or somebody messaged me and said, I saw you on live. Thank you. Welcome in. Blessings to you too. Someone said to me, do you teach real estate? And that's a great question, but it's also a question within a question. It's like a subcategory of a subcategory. But real quick, I'm gonna talk about the platforms. Facebook, welcome. YouTube, welcome. Twitch, welcome. Twitter is checking in now. I had to pay for verification, which is some bull crap, just to stream live on there. But welcome in if you hear from Twitter, and welcome in from Instagram if you hear from the gram. But thank you for being here. But let me talk about this quick subject real quick. And if you want to ask your questions while I'm talking, we can, because I just come back to the questions as I talk. So somebody asked, uh, um, do you teach different? Do you teach people the different ways to get into real estate? And yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk about a blanket statement of what I teach, and then I'll talk about the subcategories of how I teach it. All right. So um, I focus on what's called a pillared system, right? Four subjects that I will generally talk about. The first subject is credit, because whenever you talk about, buying businesses and buying real estate and or, going out here and get funding and stuff like that, it all generally will boil down to credit. And, you know, if you want to go out and get lines of credit, you want to go out and get a car, put it on Turo, you want to go out here and buy ATMs, you want to go out here and use business credit, you want to go out here and buy real estate, you want to go out here and buy a sub shop or a laundromat or a car wash, I don't give a damn. You're going to need some form of credit or a reasoning why people are going to give you money. Now you can establish rapport with people. You can get owner financing, but if that owner finance, if someone doesn't want to finance you, then you have to think to yourself, man, I got to go out here and get a line of credit from the bank. So you need to be working on your personal credit always, always, always. Personal credit profile, credit score, FICO score. Then you also need to be working on your business credit, business lines of credit, and business funding, right? And all of those will encompass credit. Okay. So also what we'll talk about too is then we'll talk about real estate. So there's multiple ways to make money in real estate. And I feel like the more weapons you have, it's like Batman in a utility belt. The more weapons you have under your belt, the more batarangs and shark repellent or smoke bombs you can pull out, right? If you're good at subject to, then if deal comes up and it's sub two issue, sub two, let's roll it. You can do wholesaling. You can do bird dogging. You can do BRRRR strategy, BRRR, buy, rehab, renovate, refinance, repeat. You can do fix and flips. You can do buy and hold. You can do just straight up investment properties. You can do primary. You can do fourplex, quadplex. You can do commercial. You can do syndication. That means pooling people money together, going there and buying a property. You can do lease options. You can do tax liens. You can do tax deeds. You can do foreclosures, right? You can do estate sales. You name it. There's tons of ways to get money in real estate, but I hate the term you don't know what you don't know, because in theory you don't know what you don't know. You have to be taught what to look for and how to find those deals. Okay? Then you need to focus on ownership. ownership of a business or ownership of something that makes you money every month that you don't got to work that hard for, or not work as much as you working for your job now. You know, if you're making $55,000 a year, working 50 hours a week, is there a business out there that I can buy that pays me $100,000 a year that I can work 20 hours a week? That sounds like a win-win to me. I work half the time and get twice as much money, and I'm my own boss. Only person that's going to yell at me is myself, right? And then what I'll teach you too is how to focus on putting the least amount of effort and energy and time as possible into it while maximizing the amount of money you get, right? Going to work for yourself and making $100,000 versus $50,000 and working 20 hours a week is good. It's still good. But if I can work 2 hours a week and still make the $100,000, or even reduce, now I can make $50,000 a year what I was still making in my job, but now work 2 hours a week. Now that's a win-win, right? So if I'll give you a scenario real quick. What would you want? Would you want $100,000 a year and you work for yourself 25 hours a week? Or would you want to make $50,000 a year and you work for yourself 5 hours a week? You know, it's a question to everybody, man. I want to see y'all answer. I want to see what y'all thinking. 25 hours a week, 100K, 5 hours a week, 20 hours. I mean, 5 hours a week, 50,000. 50,000, 5 hours, 100K, 25 hours, right? Some people want the money. Some people just want to work for themselves. Some people want the time, you know, but those are things that you need to be asking yourself whenever you're going out here and looking for businesses, right? And then trying to own stuff where you don't have to work as much or not work at all, right? ATMs, storage units, Airbnbs, laundromats, restaurants, Dunkin' Donuts, gas stations. I mean, you name it. Party rental businesses. Who knows what's out there and what's available? But what I will do is I'll show you how to evaluate them, how to find them, how to get the funding for them, how to get the down payment. I'll show you the ropes. I'll get you all of that, son. So you focus on that. So now when you're going to start bringing in more money, you're going to start bringing in money from rental properties, you know, all that other kind of crap. And then you're going to start bringing in money from the business you own. So now what you going to do with that money? You're going to take it and go buy Hellcats and Gucci? No, dog. That's trash. Now you got to start focusing on investing. Now the money you're making passively needs to go make more passive income. Meaning you make money from the real estate, you make money from the business. Now you got to put it into more pots that make more money. Investing, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs, 401ks, IRAs, ETFs, freaking whatever you name it. And now that money is making you more money, and so forth and so on. And then when that money comes in, you buy more real estate or you buy more businesses until you get to a point where you are making more money than you could ever imagine. And it took me, it was crazy. I had like 3 financial milestones. Well, I'll give you a few financial milestones. One of them was $10,000 in my bank account. And I was like, damn, I'm rich. At least I felt like I was rich, right? $10,000? Man, I was damn near broke and homeless. I joined the military and I started saving up, but I didn't know what to do with the money. I just had the 10,000. Wow. Then the next milestone was 100K. Well, actually, I'll give you another milestone. One milestone was a rental property that was paying $800 a month. That first rent check came in. And then I said, okay, well, I made $800 on this. Surely to goodness, this month, I'm going to have to go work for that $800, right? Something's probably going to happen at our house. I'm probably going to go over here and fix some pipes. I probably got to go over here and fix a dishwasher or a leaky pipe or something. or gonna be a leak in the roof, something. But the first month that nothing happened, milestone. Oh, here's another $800. And the little wins is kind of what helps, right? Because $10,000 is probably not a lot of money, but it's a win. A win's a win. $800 that you didn't have to work for, that's a win, right? Then I hit 100,000. Wow, and I was like, damn, 6 figures, right? Man, I feel like Puffy, right? Old Puffy, not that new Puffy shit. Fuck that. And then a net worth of $1 million. No, I had 10 properties. First 10 properties I had, because once you get 10 real estate deals, then you think to yourself, man, if I did it once, I can do it twice. If I do it twice, I can do it 10 times. If I did it 10 times, I can do this forever. While working full-time active duty military, which is kind of hard to do, right? Because people think they work a lot, but active duty military works way more than most people, right? Way more. We're up at like 4:30 in the morning and we getting off at like 6 o'clock in the afternoon every day. It's just rough. I wouldn't trade it for the world, but I would never go do it again. Never, ever, ever, ever. They couldn't pay me 10 times the amount and make me a 4-star general to go back to the military. You couldn't pay me enough. All right. Another milestone is, $1 million bucks. I did the math on it. I started subtracting, deductions and bills and shit like that. And then called the missus up and said, yo, check this out. What is this? I said, yeah, it's $1 million. I said, oh, you feel like a millionaire? I said, no. I was like, oh, feels exactly the same. And then buying your first business and all kind of stuff like that. But once you start making a decent amount of money coming in, then you got to start finding out ways to like try to avoid taxes and put all that other money to work. But that's a whole nother story. But yeah, so those are things that I focus on whenever it comes to teaching or coaching people, right? We got to focus on the pillars. You got to focus on your credit. You got to focus on learning about investing. You got to focus on real estate. You got to learn about businesses, right? None of those are more important or less important to me. I will never downplay credit and upplay real estate, or downplay owning a business and upplay investing. All of them to me are just as equally important. And you have to learn how to pretty much master those 4 pillars. Once you master those 4, it's a lot of this money stuff is kind of downhill from there, right? And if you want to go get some other stuff afterwards, that's cool, but let's focus on that. But that's a good question that someone asked. So I'm glad y'all here. That was kind of like a general introduction to what do I typically teach people, or what guidance I can kind of give people, or coaching that I give if people ask. But we can go into some other stuff too. I mean, I'm pretty well versed at this stuff, but that's just the basics of what I teach. We get it's really deep dive. So I always talk generally for like 15 minutes, and then people can just ask questions as they come along. So I'll kind of say this real quick. If you're here on any other social media platform, click the link in the bio and go to YouTube and watch from YouTube, or go search The Rich Get Richard on YouTube and watch from there. It's going to be the same thing. I'll actually do this. I see YouTube live comments first before I see anything else. Everything else is kind of like a blur on here. It's kind of weird. I don't see other stuff, other comments first, right? I see that first. I see YouTube comments first. So if you're on here watching, just go to YouTube and then say, if you want to, just comment here from Twitch, here from Twitter, here from Facebook, here from XYZ, and it kind of lets me know that you just came here from another platform, which I really appreciate. All right. And YouTube pays me, right? Most other platforms don't. I don't mind if you're here for free. You don't have to give anything. Just ask the questions away. But I like the YouTube to compensate me for my time, right? They want me to get more people on their platform, even though if you don't have to follow anything, but if you want to, you can, and turn your notification on. That you can, but yeah, we go from there. I see people coming in. Appreciate you. Okay, also let's get started asking some questions. 5 hours a week, I could fit more into my week easily. Yeah, you'll be surprised how much more time you have when you don't have to go, 8, 8.5, 9 hours to work, an hour, hour and a half to commute. Whenever you go from, an hour commute to work, an hour lunch, and then 8 hours at work, and then an hour back home, and then you probably need like an hour to like wind down and eat, right? You're at like 14 hours, and you got to sleep what, 7, 8? Now you got 6 hours to do whatever you want, but that ain't enough time to damn near do anything, right? I see you in from TikTok. I see you, one of my old students. I know you, man. You Mr. Bodybuilder, right? Always wearing do-rags. Used to wear do-rags all the time in tech training. But yeah, commercial real estate, if you wanted to get in that stuff, we talk about that stuff too. Commercial real estate is one of those industries that are like, I ain't gonna say it's harder to get into, but it's one of the most gate-kept industries in all of America, to me, my personal opinion. So anybody who's ever got into or know about commercial units, I mean, it's like really gate-kept. But once you get in there, once you in there, you in there. Real quick question. Am I currently flipping properties or have I flipped properties? Am I currently flipping? No. Like, it's kind of weird. This gonna sound real weird. Don't judge me. I'm on like a real big spiritual journey now, right? So I'm like getting in with my inner peace. Like I've been hustling and pushing forward so hard for like 10, 12, 15 years that my mental psyche has almost took I need like a reset. So I'm on like this spiritual journey. So I really haven't been doing a lot of things that I need to be doing. But I'll get back on it. But honestly, I've only been looking for investment properties only in like 2 areas, and I'm kind of picky. I can afford to be picky. I'm not in a rush, right? Do you think the Feds will cut rates 2 more times before the election? If you really think about it, before the election, during the election, or even after the election, people always talk about Mike or Sir, whoever. That's a great question, but I'm gonna put you on some real game. The Feds cutting rates is almost irrelevant to real estate or anything. So, okay, I'll break it down like this. Let's say there's a property out there, and let's say it's $100,000. Let's say the interest rate is 2% on $100,000. Your payment is going to be $600 a month. It cash flows. It rents out for $1,500. So your profit is $900. Okay. If the market goes up, then rent rate is directly correlated. So your rent rates will go up, but your property is going to stay the same price for the next 30 years. You have that locked in. Rent rates typically don't go down. Rent rates are rent rates, right? If y'all stay in an area where the rent rate has gone down, please let me know, because I ain't seen it in any America ever, anywhere in the world. $1,200 in Texas is, if it's just $1,200, it's $1,200, right? Some people might go down 50 to $100 to probably get a tenant in there faster or something like that, but it's generally going to be the same price. Okay, same scenario. It's rented for $1,500. Let's say the $100,000 property is at 9%, right? And now at 9%, now let's say your payment is $1,000. $1,000, 1,500 minus 1,000, you still profiting $500, and that payment is locked in for 10 years or 30 years. If you are cash flowing on a property, why do you care what the interest rates are? You know what I mean? You're focusing on the wrong thing. Does it make you money every month? If you look at the cash flow and it makes enough money for you to do the deal, you shouldn't even care how much the interest rate is. I don't even look at interest rates no more. I do not care. I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. We don't care. Actually, I just refinanced a portfolio of 10 properties at whatever the interest rate was. I cashed out 6 figures. You don't pay capital gains tax on debt. And my cash flow is still, 20, 30% on average for a piece of property I got. So if I refinance 10 properties and my the average rent rate in that area is $1,400 and my average mortgage on the properties is $900, I'm cash flowing $500 still, and I cashed out, $200,000 of debt, which debt-free debt you don't pay capital gains tax on. I pay no taxes on my cash out. Then I still make $500 a month per property. 500 times 10 property, that's $5K. That's $60K a year. I didn't say shit about no interest rate. Don't care. If your payment is $500 with a 10% interest rate, you need to rent it out for double. But that's a good question, right? But yeah, don't give a damn about the number. I don't give a damn about the Fed rates. Don't care. Now, if you want to get into like a cheaper primary home, maybe, but even then, the money you're saving on interest rates, you're losing out on equity. I mean, think about it like this. Either you're going to be in a battle, with the price, or you're going to be in the battle with interest rates. When interest rates was low, you fought the price. When interest rates was high, prices went up because people was fighting over the price. So now you got to deal with interest rates, but not a lot of people are buying now. So you can kind of catch a deal. But let's say you bought a house 2020, so 2020. Man, it's too many houses. Man, it's too hard out here, man. The houses are cheap. It's too hard to get a house. Yeah, you bought a house for $300,000 in 2020. Now your house is probably worth $500,000 now. You're chasing an interest rate and you lost out on $200,000 of equity. But now the interest rates are high. Now you're complaining that, man, interest rates are high. But when interest rates were low, you was complaining that the houses was too high. Now the houses are high with high interest rates. You got to pick your poison, man. Actually, there is no poison to pick. Get your ass in a house and then start buying investment properties. As long as they cash flow or you're living in one, work with it. Say word. But yeah, I see a lot of people coming over here from YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch. I got to count. Somebody's always in Twitch. I don't know who. I set up a Twitch account as a joke, but thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. I have to swap pages to see who somebody said they dropping a daughter off at college. Yeah, man. It's that time of year, right? Everybody's getting back to the swing of school and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, let's get to it. Yeah, I was talking about, would you want to work 5 hours a week for 50,000 or 25 hours a week for 100,000? Some people will work for the money. Some people want to do as least amount of work as possible. So it really just depends on that person. Should I sell my primary home because it's debt free? No, you don't have to sell it. If you've been in it for so many years, you can do a HELOC. You can do a refinance too. Refinance, you don't have to pay debt, capital gains tax on your debt. If you sell it, if you ain't been in the house for 2 years or 3 out of 5 years, you got to pay capital gains tax. But you're gonna need to find another house. The house you're probably gonna move into is probably gonna be just as expensive. HELOC is probably one of your better options, and or refinance would probably be second. I don't think you need to sell your home. Let you have a place to go. And also, too, if you want to do any of those options, I will have a plan on why you're doing it. Like, you just selling your house to sell your house, or you want to sell your house to buy investment property? You want to sell your house to buy a business? You want to sell your house to invest more into a stock market or 401k or something like that, and to beef up your retirement account and stuff like that? Because I do feel like equity is dead money. I mean, it doesn't do anything. It just, you don't make any money off equity unless you sell the property, refinance the property, or HELOC the property. So, I mean, you have options. Just depends on what you want to do. Or refinance it, take the money, buy another property, and rent it out. Go from there. If you don't necessarily have to sell it though. My apartment is way easier to operate than a single family home. Yeah. The crazy part about it is it takes just as much effort to buy a one family home than it does to buy it takes just as much effort to buy an apartment complex than it does to buy a single family home. Now you can get into single family, duplex, quadplex, fourplex cheaper than an apartment, but the paperwork and the due diligence and the home inspections and the termite inspections and all that other kind of crap is pretty much exactly the same. And especially if you have a property manager, a good property manager in your team or your area and stuff like that, it's a whole lot easier to do that type of stuff, especially if they're doing everything for you. So they both had their perks. They both had their pros and cons. The main one is down payment, right? If you're a veteran, you can get a VA loan, and that's 0% down. You just need to have a 580 credit score. A 580 credit score and 0 down. You just need a job with 3 months on duty. I mean, come on, dog. You can't beat that, right? I know apartment complex probably is cool and all, but there ain't too many investments where I pretty much don't have to put anything down except for termite inspection and maybe $1,500 in closing costs. Termite inspection, home inspection, and it's one other inspection I can't think of. But you might be all in $1,500. That type of shit you can't beat. Sorry for the profanity. On my first property, should I flip it or should I rent it? Flipping is cool, but I think flipping is like the stepchild of investing. Once you get into flipping, you always have to keep flipping. There's no end goal to flipping. You just got to keep flipping because you say if you bought a property for 50, you put in 50, and you sell it for 170. You're gonna pay some closing costs and some fees and stuff like that. And let's say you profited 50. You have to do a 1031 exchange so you don't have to pay capital gains tax on your 50. So now you got to roll that 50 you made over to another property. And now you got to more likely buy another property to flip it. So now you have to, or you can split that profit up into 2 properties, and now you got to flip both of those. And now you're just constantly flipping, constantly chasing the tail of the flip game, which you can make some decent money, but You start getting into like buying and holding, it's a little slower. You know, you're not gonna make $50,000 in like 8 weeks or nothing like that, but you'll have some decent equity. You'll have some cash flow, $500 to $800, and then you take that profit and you save it up and you buy another one. I mean, it's just slower. They both had their perks. They both had their ups and downs. Just depends on what you want to deal with. Say word, word. I'm new to the military. I've heard a VA loan from a property has much lower interest rate too. Yeah, you don't have to pay. So the perk of having a VA loan is you don't have to pay PMI, property mortgage insurance. You put zero down. You get a low interest rate. The government secures the loan or backs the loan, so you get 100% financed. And all you got to do is pay inspections, termite, and one other thing. And sometimes you might even walk away from the deal with a check, which I've done a few times. It won't be a lot, but I mean, I do a home inspection, which back in the day used to be like 300. I'll just round up $500 for a home inspection, $300 for a termite inspection, and there's another inspection I can't remember what it's called. I don't know. So I'll say another $300. So $1,100 in, 0% down, best interest rate, no PMI. And if the numbers work out right, I'll only put down. I won't put anything down. I'll walk away with a check for $2,000. That's the $1,100 I put in plus $900. I mean, that stuff you can't beat. Anyways, if you a veteran, get you a VA loan. Best deal in town. And then live in it for a year, then try to go get something else or move and use another one. Try to find the cheapest house in your area that you can use that loan with. But yeah, welcome in. I see people trickling in from the YouTubes. I see people trickling in from the Instagram. I appreciate y'all for being here. I'm streaming on all platforms besides one of my Instagrams is acting up. It's kind of funny how that works. Oh man, what's happening? I think you probably left, so you probably won't even see this comment. So yeah. I said to myself when we're old. But let's go ahead and get some shout outs. Where y'all from, man? Let's do some checking in. Where are y'all from? You can be not necessarily specific. You can say city and state or just state if you want to be vague. But I've traveled during my military time. I traveled all over the world. I've probably been to majority of all states. Majority, not all though. Some of that like North Dakota stuff I ain't touched, but Augusta in the house. I see you. SoCal, New Orleans. I was born in Louisiana. Maryland, Fort. You in the Army then. Arkansas, good place to invest in real estate. Michigan is a good place to invest in real estate. Philadelphia, good place. Philadelphia. Um, I'm not trying to discourage anybody or like hype up anybody, but Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, VA. I think Philadelphia, from my personal experience, is one of the best places to be an entrepreneur. Philadelphia, Connecticut, Rhode Island, some parts of Virginia, some parts of New Jersey. Best places you can be an entrepreneur. One is because of proximity. Philadelphia is one of those locations where you can be in 4 other states within an hour. Okay. So like if there was a real estate deal and then the state you're investing in, you get the perks of that state, not the state you're in. So let's say if Connecticut is a landlord friendly state, you're an hour and a half away from them. If New Jersey is a business friendly state, you're an hour from there. If Virginia is a real estate friendly state, you're an hour and a half, 2 hours from there. And you could pretty much commute through multiple states, right? You could be, one thing about Philly, you can be in multiple states in, not a lot of time, right? Just for example, so like I'll kind of keep, okay, so you could be in Maryland, an hour and a half. You can be in New Jersey, 30 minutes. You could be in Richmond, Virginia, 3 hours. You can be in all of Philadelphia, 4 hours max. Or sorry, Pennsylvania. You can be in New York. And then you can get into like, if you wanted to go to Boston, you can be in Massachusetts. You can be in, it's comically, you could be in Connecticut. You could be in Rhode Island in 3 hours, 4 hours. You are exposed to so many different areas and so many different states and so many state policies in one area. So whenever I meet people or see people and they say I'm from Philadelphia, and I say, yo, bro, you need to get on it. You need to get on it. If you don't, it's the only person you can blame is yourself, right? And then one thing about Philadelphia is the houses are pretty cheap if you want to just invest in Philadelphia. I get emails and texts all the time. Philadelphia, I got a damn townhome for sale for $100,000, 3-bedroom, 3-bath. It's like, bro, get on this, man. Get on this. Jump on it. Not a lie. But yeah, where else y'all from? I got let me see. Atlanta in the house. Wisconsin. Don't y'all know? Have you tried Wisconsin? Yeah. You Richard don't even know it, my bro. Orlando in the house. Orlando. There's skirts outside. Okay, how about this? Let's do this. Since y'all want to comment y'all cities, you comment your city, and I'll tell you the opportunity that's there. How about that? Okay, at least in my opinion. All right, so let me get to some of this stuff. Let's get to some of this stuff. Baby, I'm so into you. Orlando. Orlando, a lot of people are moving to Orlando, Tampa, and the outskirts of there, and even Miami, which a lot of people moving to Jacksonville and Tallahassee too. On the skirts of Orlando, Winter Park, Winter Haven, where else? Acapulco, and it's another place out there too. I can't think off the top of my head, but yeah, the skirts of Kissimmee. A lot of people are buying houses in those areas dirt cheap because the city is expanding and the housing prices haven't caught up with the area. So if you wanted to get into real estate or businesses in Orlando, go right outside the city. Kissimmee, Winter Park, Winter Haven, and there's some other cities in that area, and I can't think of them off the top of my head. Give me 5 seconds, and I can tell you. Lakeland, there he is. Lakeland, Winter Park, Winter Haven, Acapulco, Claremont, St. Cloud, right on the skirts. You still can catch some deals. Plant City, some good areas. Buffalo, New York. You can catch some real estate deals, but real estate in New York, it's not an investor friendly area for real estate. But business wise, you can acquire a crap ton of businesses in the New York Buffalo area, and you can commute to a couple of states in that area, but right, you still can get into New York City, but New York City is probably like 3 or 4 hours away. Once you fix your credit, how long will I be waiting to make a deal? However long you want. It just depends. Fayetteville, I gotta look at a map. I'm sorry. I don't know where Fayetteville is in comparison to all the other places, but South Carolina is a really great place to invest in. It's a lot of gentrification. Fayetteville is a sleeper. If I was you, I'd be doing a lot of real estate deals there. Wilmington, good. Raleigh's kind of got saturated. Charlotte got saturated, but you can get like the Jonesboro, the Greensboro, and the Fayetteville, North Carolina, great for real estate, and or you can look into buying a business in the Charlotte area and or Raleigh area and or Myrtle Beach area too, and Asheville. Those are major cities that are growing, and I would probably focus getting a business in those areas, right? Michigan, some parts of Detroit, and you can invest really close to the Michigan too, like in the Cleveland, Akron, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Columbus, since you kind of in the area. Ann Arbor, Grand Rapids is always good, and or Ann Arbor is always good because it's a college town. Someone said Wisconsin, don't you know? To me, Wisconsin is probably top 5 real estate states. They're real estate friendly, and the cost of living there is kind of high when the acquisition of businesses and or real estate is super cheap. They haven't caught up with it. Nashville, good for businesses. They suck on real estate unless you go to like outside the skirts. You got to get into like the Antioch, and or I know Nashville is about an hour south of the border of Kentucky. I would probably start looking into buying real estate in Kentucky if I wanted. I wouldn't do Nashville. Nashville kind of they got blew up and they went to shit. Okay, what else we got? New York City. Businesses, yes. Real estate, I wouldn't fuck with it. Real estate is extremely competitive in New York City. I would focus on businesses. All right. Houston, forget about it. Houston, real estate on the skirts though, not in the city. But one thing I don't like about Houston is like the scam capital of the world, man. And I would hate to deal with people that either want to scam me or rip me off. If I want to get into a business, I would happily commute or even move to Austin, San Antonio, or even on the skirts of Houston, right? That Houston downtown, that's just trash. There's no way, right? You can even get into better, and then also too, Houston, skirts of Houston and the skirts of San Antonio and the skirts of Austin have better real estate deals than Houston proper, Houston downtown. I wouldn't fuck with Houston. Claremont, I don't know what that is, brother. You can't just say it's Claremont, Florida. Okay, yeah. You can't just say a city, man. I don't know what that means, man. Marietta, anything in the perimeter. I think it's called the perimeter of Georgia. I wouldn't mess with, right? Anything outside the perimeter, you still can catch some deals. but it's kind of on the south though, right? You probably gotta get into like damn near like Jonesboro and Peachtree City, and you still can find deals. But if you want to get into some really bigger cash flow and stuff, I would migrate a little bit more north, probably like the Rome and north 75 area, right? Halfway between Chattanooga and Atlanta. Those are really good deals. And or I would probably start commuting to Macon. Macon is a little ghetto. They kind of still gang bang out there. I wouldn't even touch that area. But as far as businesses goes, Atlanta's one of those scammer places. If I did own a business, I would try to stay out like stereotypical African American communities. I love my people, man, but fuck that shit. I'm not relying on a certain demographic to feed my family and feed my system. I think you can get a better deal probably in Augusta. You can get better real estate out there, and then if you start going towards the Alabama area, you get better deals on real estate and or businesses and or Savannah. But that's my personal opinion. I need help getting funding. Well, click the link in the bio and join the free class, my friend. We talk about funding, we talk about real estate, we talk about business acquisition, we talk about all that stuff. Missouri is the fastest growing city in the Midwest. I'll take your word on it. Right? Missouri is a sleeper. Yeah, he's 100% right. Missouri is a sleeper when it comes to real estate and or businesses. I personally, if I had to invest in an area, it wouldn't be Springfield. I like Kansas City a little more. Kansas City is the next big city. Their team, Kansas City Chiefs, has been pushing real hard. I think they're going to get. They're trying to host in the Olympics. When the Olympics, no. Is it the Olympics? No. Is it the World Cup? They're trying to host some of the World Cup games. They're growing their international airport, and I think Kansas City is a good area to invest in real estate and or businesses. I like Springfield, Illinois, which is a little closer. Columbia, St. Louis, not East Side. That's the hood. Screw East Side. I wouldn't do that. But Springfield is a good area. But if you're going to invest in Springfield, I like Tulsa. If you can commute to Tulsa, it's a little better. That's just my personal opinion, though, from what I've seen. OKC is always a good area, right? It's like a major city without being a major city. Do you think it's good time to start an investment club? It's a good time to start whatever you want. If you into it, and you got to put in the work, though, man. But investment club is kind of one of those weird things. You got to put in the work. You got to sit, like, you can see how I'm just sitting on live I'm on Facebook, 2 Facebook groups. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Twitch. I'm on Twitter. I'm on 2 Instagram pages, and I'm on TikTok. Right. And I just sit on here and I give game away. And I know the areas because I know a lot of real estate investors. I know a lot of people who invest, and I just sit on here and talk about money. And you got to give a lot of game to people away for years before they even make your shit even trustworthy, right? You got to put at least 3 years, right? I met Gary Vee once, and Gary Vee said, "Yo, man, give them game for free for 3 years, and then if you want to ask them for something, then you go from there, right?" Just like people say all the time, "Yo, bro, you've been putting me on for years and never asked for a dime. You want to start an investment club? You got to give away the game, right? You got to give it away, right? Like, so I just have to talk to people right now and tell them what's the best things to invest in their area." So I'm off track now. All right, so keep commenting your cities, and I'll let you know where. I just said North Carolina, my guy. Someone said, "Can I get in touch with the SBA guy?" I thought you was in the community, man. You just asked me in there. I don't know. I ain't seen a turkey in a while. I don't know where Salem is, but I'll say it again. Charlotte is good for businesses. Raleigh is good for businesses. If you want to get into real estate, Fayetteville, Greenville, the skirts of Raleigh, and the skirts like the Concords and stuff like that is really good. I don't even know where Salem is. I have no clue where that is. Because, think about it like this. You don't want to start a business or buy a business. You don't want to buy a business or you don't want to buy a business in an area that can't support the business. If your town has 30,000 people and you're trying to buy a business there, right? There's not enough, in my opinion, there's not enough people there to support your business. You want people. People equals opportunity and money, right? Would you rather have a $100,000 business in a town with 50,000 people, or would you rather $1 million business in a town with 1 million people, right? It's right. I want the people. The more people in my town that come in and support my business, the more opportunity I have. That's what makes the money, right? And even if I was in a small town and everybody in my town just loves my place, you're relying on a limited demographic. And if some new up and coming place come up, then I'm screwed, right? But you got a distant place and in a bigger city, you can always thrive. But hey, what do I know? So that's why I always try to if I'm gonna invest if I'm gonna invest in an area, I'm gonna invest in an area that can support what I want to do. Now with real estate is a little different. You can almost invest anywhere in real estate. Try not to get to like whole donkey towns, but majority of cities you can almost invest in real estate because people are always gonna need a place to live. Now when it comes to businesses and stuff, I want to have more population. Okay, just my personal opinion. Someone said Green Bay, Wisconsin. Don't y'all know? Yeah, Green Bay is sleeper. Actually, Green Bay just came up. Green Bay just maybe in the last 2 years, prices just doubled. I wouldn't personally want to invest in Green Bay. I would go to what's the cities? I can't remember. Not Dupree. Not Minnesota. Minnesota. No, sorry, Milwaukee. And it's one more city in Wisconsin. Not De Pere. Yeah, I would probably lean toward Madison. That's what I was talking about. Madison and Wisconsin. Madison and Milwaukee. Way better cities. Birmingham. Birmingham is good if you can get near the schools, but the real estate is top 10 places to invest in real estate, in my personal opinion. You still can get houses in Alabama for $60K, $70K. You can find apartment complexes in Alabama for $500,000. You just got to know how to look and get funded for them. But hey, what do I know? Oh man. When it comes to real estate, starting off, should you make about 10 calls a day until you get what you need? I don't know what that means. No. Hell no. Who you calling? Ghostbusters? Making 10 calls to who? Hey man, you want to sell your property? You want to sell your property? No, man. I don't outbound. I inbound. Right? I can teach you 5 techniques right now to have your phone off the fucking hook. 5 techniques. But I'm not. You want to learn? Click the link in the bio, join the free class, right? It is what it is, man. But yeah, no, I used to do outbound for a while. I used to cold call, and then I hired a service to call people. And then after a while, I said, these leads are dead, right? But when someone calls you, they about that business, right? Think about it like this. If I called 100 people and asked them to buy their property, how many people would say yes? Probably 5 out of the 100. Now, if 10 people called me who had a property for sale, how many people are going to want to sell their property? All 10, right? I'd rather get 10 people calling me than me calling 100 and get potentially 4 or 5 and get cussed out 95 times. It's not worth my time. So, yeah. That's a good question though. What about what are my thoughts on Section 8 rentals? Tony, sir, you've been here long enough to know my thoughts on Section 8. I hate calling people out because as soon as someone comes in here and say Section 8, I have to do it. There are people on these sites that sit around and talk about Section 8 like they the fucking, sorry for profanity, the greatest thing since sliced bread. Section 8 is just another way to receive payment from a property. Just one way of the 20 that I teach, right? What about just a regular tenant that pays through a property manager, right? The property manager pays you on the 5th, Section 8 pays you on the 1st. What's the difference? Section 8 might pay you 5 to 10% more, but you got to get inspected through the government to make your house Section 8 approved, which the inspection process is not even that hard, but it's just one more necessary step. You know, for, you know, let's say if the property is supposed to rent off for $1,500, I get $1,600 versus $1,500. My cash flow is $800 versus $900. Ooh, right? You got 100 damn properties. Okay, well, I made $5,700. I made $57,000 this month versus $59,000. You think I give a damn about that? Right? Section 8 is cool. So is wholesaling. So is syndication. So is BRRRR strategy. So is lease options. So is freaking buy and hold. So is BRRRR method. So is Section 8. So is syndication. So is sub 2. So is lease options. So is bird dogging. All of that shit the same. It's the technique is irrelevant. Let's get some deals done. Right? It's like saying, I want to be an MMA fighter. What specialty should I specialize in? It don't make a difference. You want to focus on taekwondo? You want to focus on kickboxing? You want to focus on karate? Don't care. Get your ass in this ring and let's fight. That's the goal. Someone said New Orleans. New Orleans is okay. Katrina kind of this, you know, I hate New Orleans now because Katrina kind of messed up that market. I like Baton Rouge a little better, but man, that's just a lot of that stuff's kind of rough. Shreveport is pretty cool. Lafayette is cool. I don't know. Louisiana ain't my thing, man. Louisiana is not my thing. Maryland, good. Kind of saturated though. Kind of overpriced. But that's just my personal opinion. Illinois, yeah, Illinois is a sleeper. You can get a lot of deals in Illinois. Because one thing about Illinois is you can still go up to like the skirts of Chicago, which ain't the hood. And then you still can do like some Naperville stuff or Naperville. And you can still go to like Springfield. You still can get down to St. Louis for a decent price. And in Indianapolis, Cincinnati, and Fort Wayne. Good real estate. About to get the sub 2 hybrid deal, single family house with golf cart. Hey man, you said like every term there. I'm gonna get to a sub 2 hybrid loan ramification refinance. Like, dude, huh? I'll take your word on it, man. I hope you get the deal done. I'm not even gonna need to dissect that. It's just a lot going on. A sub 2 hybrid deal on a single family home with golf course business. Should I do a SBA or a PML? Private money loan? Whatever, get the deal done. I don't know, man. You lose me. You like saying words. I get what you're saying, but it's just like, what? A single family home with a business attached? Huh? You hurt my head, Mister. You hurt my head, sir. But I love answering y'all questions. I'll comment y'all cities. But like I said before, if you're watching here from Facebook, if you're here from Twitch, Instagram, Twitch, X or Twitter. Like I said before, or even Facebook, click the link in the bio, join, and watch from YouTube, because YouTube pays me to be here, right? I don't mind talking, right? You might as well go ahead and contribute to me making some kind of money. I really don't make much, right? I think for every like 15 minutes you stay here, I get like a nickel or something, but it adds up. It adds up. Someone said, yeah, both Oklahoma and Tulsa are sleepers. You think I'm out here screwing around? Shit, I am not out here playing, right? And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna kind of put you on to something. I have a good friend who owns a call center, and all the guys you see on, hey man, buy my program. Hey guys, I've been buying real estate in these areas for years. Hey man, let me teach you the game. Hey man, I'm doing Section 8. Hey man, I'm doing wholesaling. Hey man, all those guys that you see on social media for years, the person they use to call all these places to buy their property, I'm good friends with them. And every time I get to talking to them, I say, hey, what's going on? How you doing? I'm doing all right. Hey, cool. Yeah, man, you need to get on some of these properties. You need to get on these businesses. Well, my credit ain't the best. You know what I'll do? I'll work on your credit for free. But in exchange, I want to know where people are buying properties at. Okay? Cool. Oh, simple. Here you go. This is all the places we call and buy properties up. So all the big dogs, multi-millionaires and shit like that that's buying all these properties, I know where all of them buying this shit at, and I come up there and scoop up them shits right behind their ass. Playing cleanup. Say word. But yeah, click the link in the bio, join in on YouTube because it helps my platform grow. And yeah, appreciate y'all being here. So let's keep going. ATLANTAGA, that's where I stay. You still can catch some sleepers unless you want to do some fix and flipping in the Georgia perimeter inside of 275. You still can catch some fix and flips out there. Housing prices out there just got ridiculous. And owning a business in Atlanta to me is rough, man. I am not out there trying to get dealing with scammers and stuff like that. Houston and Atlanta, shit no. Scam city, man. So I would almost focus on the skirts. Athens, Peachtree City, Jonesboro, Savannah, Macon, Augusta, Rome, even up to Chattanooga, or even go out there to Carrollton. And yeah, I would focus on those areas if I wanted to get in real estate. Philadelphia, man, y'all must just be getting here. Yeah, Philadelphia, like I said before, Philadelphia is one of the best cities, in my personal opinion, to invest in, because Philadelphia is an hour from Jersey, an hour from Delaware, an hour from Maryland, an hour from Washington, D.C., 2 hours from New York City, 3 hours from Connecticut, 3 hours from Rhode Island, 4 hours from Pennsylvania. You can get to 10 major cities in 4 hours, right? And now it depends on what you want to focus on. If you want to focus on businesses, let's buy a business that's in a state that's more business friendly. You can pick, you had your pick of the litter: Baltimore, Atlantic City, Philly, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, New York, Winter Haven, Hartford, Connecticut. You have your pick of the litter of all these major cities, and you still get the damn Richmond. Richmond can get to in what, 4 or 5 hours, 4 hours? So I mean, Philadelphia is, and then you can even buy real estate in Philadelphia. You can buy townhouses for $100,000 in Philadelphia. You know, we in here. I see you. But yeah, what I'm doing is for those who just got here or just here, comment your city, and I'll tell you a best course of action for investing there. Because, like I said, I talked to the heavy hitters in most states or most cities, and yeah, I kind of tell you where to go. New Jersey, yeah, you were right in there too. I think New Jersey is not a good state to own real estate in, so that's why you probably have to invest out of state. I don't remember off the top of my head though, right? I don't know specifically what is all the states that are like good for rental markets and not, right? It's that shit would drive me crazy if I sat there and thought about that stuff all the time, right? Come to the mentorship. We drop gems every day. Yeah, Brad, click the link in the bio. Join the free class. We talk about that type of stuff. Tampa, uh, businesses in Tampa is good. Real estate in Tampa, not so much. If you wanted to fix and flip, you still can catch some deals. But if I wanted to invest in the Tampa area as far as real estate, I would uh, I would say you still can catch some sleepers in some parts of Clearwater, but it's like buy and hold, not a lot of fix and flips. Um, I would invest in a little south. Well, really not now because of the damn storm, but Sarasota is a good area to invest in. Uh, Spring Hill is a good place, but I would go out. Plant City, Lakeland, Winter Park, and Winter Haven, and Lake Wales, especially Lakeland. Um, I fixed and flipped a house in Lakeland. I paid $40,000 for it. It was a 3 bedroom, 2 bath with a detached 2 story garage. I took the 3-2, renovated it, and I converted the 3 bedroom. I converted the duplex. I converted the 2 story garage to a 2 bedroom, 1 bath. And man, I ended up selling that shit for 350,000. But it took about a little over $100,000 though. So I made about $150. Just rolled it over to another property. 1031 exchange. Say word, word. Was it 1031 exchange or no? It wasn't 1031 exchange. It was a damn. I'm confusing my tax benefits now. But you know, whatever. It's irrelevant. I heard Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana is the worst place to invest ever in history of America. Gary, and like I'm gonna tell you something, right? Easiest way to think of it. If if they gang bang, don't invest there. Okay? If you driving through and you see like Vice Lords and Crips and Bloods and Hoover, no, I'm good. I'm good. You couldn't give me that shit. Gary, Indiana is the butthole of America, and it's gonna be like that for years to come. There ain't no jobs. There ain't a big market out there for investing. Uh, I'm good. There's way better places to invest in Indiana than Gary. All right. For one, Indianapolis is 10 times better, and also Fort Wayne is good. You can even go to Columbus and go to the Columbia, Ohio, go to Columbia and or Dayton. Gary gave us MJ, and that's about it. Oh man, Peachtree City is nice. I'm not saying that there's parts of Georgia that aren't nice, but anywhere in the perimeter of Atlanta, you can forget about it. Everything's overpriced. And I don't like doing business in Atlanta because it's the scammer capital of the world. Second to Houston, right? But yeah, Fayetteville. So Fayetteville, let me think. McDonough, Stockbridge, Jonesboro, Fayetteville, Peachtree City, Loganville, Lawrenceville, Woodstock, Alpharetta, Douglasville, Valerica, all of the places right outside, You still can catch deals out there. Someone said, can you help with business funding? Yeah. That's what we do here, right? Click the link in the bio, join the free class. I can help you with that. Whoever giving a hope, spamming the likes, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I think someone just ended the chat and they start talking about, I sent you that business deal. Today's Sunday. All right, you listening? Let's go. I'm talking to someone specifically. You guys can listen for a second if you want to, but he knows who I'm talking to. I sent you a deal. You got a week, brother. All right. You got a week. If you ain't on it in a week, I'm scooping. The more I think about it, I almost shouldn't even told you, but I was being nice. Two hours of work for $60,000 profit. Come on, dog. That's $5,500 a month for 2 hours of work. 2 hours of work a week. That's 10 hours a month. I'll even break down that calculation if you want it. So 5,500 divided by 10 hours a month. That's $550 an hour. Now, who in here makes $550 an hour? Raise your hand. I honestly broke down. The only issue is it has bad reviews on the current employees. All right. Training. Or I would say, if I bought a business and it had bad reviews, I probably would either, first of all, I would comment on every review as the business and say, I'm sorry that you had to go through this. We're under new management now. If you want to revisit us, we're in a training program to give our clientele a better experience. And hopefully we can regain your trust in your business, stuff like that, right? Then I would have a meeting with the current employees and say, this is unacceptable. I don't know who did this. I don't know if the person's still working here. Don't care. If a person writes a bad review about you again, you will be terminated. It's not hard. You're sending off packages, working a mailroom. Customer service is your primary job. I think customer service is almost your only job. Put a box on a scale, say hi, how you doing? How's your day? You give them their price. They pay. You put a sticker on it. You send it to the back with the UPS driver. When people's mail come in, you put it in the slot. This is not rocket science. If you can't comply with this, I will replace you. There's thousands of people out here that need a job. There's your warning. I'm not out here playing around. You got the other documents? Shit. You can forward them to me if you want. No, don't do that. I'll scoop it, man. I don't even want it. I'm almost forget it don't even exist. Las Vegas is good. Businesses is good. Real estate is a little rough in Vegas. I don't think Las Vegas is a good renter-friendly area. I wouldn't mess with Vegas as far as the real estate goes. But as far as the business goes, I would. If you wanted to invest in other places than Vegas, Phoenix was one of the best kept secrets for years, but the Phoenix market even got out there. Anything in California, you can damn cut that place off and just throw it in the trash, man. That place is the worst. So if you wanted to invest in anywhere, some parts of Salt Lake City is kind of getting good, but Salt Lake City. So this is what happened. I'm gonna kind of break this down to you in a nutshell. When COVID hit, California went through this weird change. People could work remotely and also live in California. So now that people went from working 40 hours a week in the office, they went from working 0 office hours in the office, but yet still had to pay California prices and California taxes and California everything. But if you're working remotely and you're compensated for California prices, but you don't have to be there to work there. So now you can just migrate outside of California. That's why a lot of the places like Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Ohio, Boise, Ohio, Salt Lake City, freaking Denver, Phoenix, Vegas, all of those places, real estate shot to the damn moon because people was taking Texas too. People was taking that California money and just moving to places that were more affordable. And so now people are moving to all these other cities, and then now they're forcing the prices there. There was a boom in Boise, Ohio, or Idaho, that I remember that in the city of Boise, there was at one point in time where there was 2 houses for sale in that whole city. 2. And there was a line around building to them get in there. 2 houses. You know, a whole city, a major city in a major state. That lets you know that California is not only a horrible state, they're bleeding their horribleness onto other states. So anywhere on that whole East Coast or West Coast, dude, you have fun with that stuff, right? But if you want to get into it, we can talk about different stuff, right? Real estate wise, I don't too much. I mess with a lot of that stuff out there. You might still catch some skirt cities or outside the major cities, metropolitan areas. Businesses always be booming because people are coming out there. And all those cities have grown 10, 20% in population in the last, 4 or 5 years because of COVID. It is what it is. Hercules, California, I don't even know what that is. Detroit, if you're in Detroit, it's good to invest there. But if you're not in Detroit, it's not good to invest there because you know the good areas and the bad areas. I tell everybody like, yo, man, I get a $30,000 house in Detroit. Yeah, and you freaking in the ghetto or in the hood. But if you're in Texas, don't invest in Detroit. If you're in Detroit, then invest in Detroit because you know the areas, right? That's where, it's kind of funny, right? You ever like looked online at hotels and then you damn get to the hotel and you just like, oh man, what the fuck? Lock the door. Because you don't freaking know, right? You can have all the best pictures in the world and until you get there, it's across from a train track and a damn crack house and a damn gunshots. And you're just like, what the hell? You don't know what you don't know, but you can invest in Detroit if you're from Detroit. And then this is what's crazy. Miss Detroit, I'm gonna kind of put you on another little side hustle, little game. If you're in Detroit, there's a lot of people who want to invest in Detroit who don't live in Detroit because they think that homes in Detroit are good investments. What you need to do is you need to start a consulting service, right? Charge $100, $200, $500. Don't give a shit, right? We'll make it $199. And what you do is, hey man, I'm thinking about investing in Detroit. Cool. It's $199. I'll tell you all the best areas to stay in, all the best areas to live in, all the best areas to invest in. And if you need me to go buy a property and take pictures of it, I'll charge you an extra $50 per property if you need me to. So now you're making money off of other people buying property, right? And you ain't even got to invest there. You're just the I call them word man or bird dogs. You're like the bird dog, right? So a bird dog is when someone goes shoot the bird, and then the bird dog, like remember Nintendo? He goes out there and gets the bird and brings the bird back to the the guy who shot it. The shooter is the investor. You're just going out, taking pictures of a property and bringing it back to them. And if they want to shoot more property, that's fine. All you doing, you get paid just for providing that service. $50, $60, $100, right? Okay, cool. I'll go out and take property pictures for $50. You buy the property, you give me $250. If they're making, $500 a month on the property, who cares? They don't give a damn. And then this is where it gets better. They're not there. Why don't you start a property management business? And now you consult them on what properties to buy. You take pictures of the properties they want to buy. And now you manage the properties that they buy for them. 1, 2, 3. You make $150 on the consulting. You make $50 on them taking pictures. You make $150 for you buying the property, and then you make 10% of the rent whenever they have the property. God damn it, this shit's easy, man. Why ain't y'all rich? This is what I do, people. Man, jeez. But hey. What do I know? What do I know? Richmond, Virginia, on the skirts. Peachtree City is nice, but it's been like that for years. Louisiana, come on, man. Y'all just getting here? I just talked about Louisiana, man. Do you ever sleep? Money don't sleep. Money never sleeps. That's why I come here to learn. Can your boy get a consultation? Yeah, link in the bio, sir. Click the link in the bio. It'll say a webinar. Sign up for the webinar. Come hang out. Come learn. About simple as it gets. But yeah, my throat's hurting. I'm getting tired. Y'all gotta ask more questions. I will talk all day. I hate coming up with questions, but I'll answer questions all day long. If you just got here, comment what city you're from, and I'll see if there's any good deals, or I'll tell you a good strategy or a good way, what areas to focus on if you wanted to get into certain things. But for the most part, you can always buy good businesses in most major cities. Most major cities, Austin, great business, great for business, great for real estate. San Antonio is great for businesses. San Antonio is really great for real estate. Really great for real estate. Round Rock, good for real estate. On the skirts, Austin is kind of saturated with the real estate thing because of the software jobs that are there. They kind of like pushed up the prices on a lot of that stuff. So real estate, you still can do some fix and flipping, but if you want to get on the skirts and just start finding real estate out there, but there's a lot of property. So for those who don't know, one thing about Dallas is, or one thing about Texas is a owner finance first state, or a owner finance real estate agent state, meaning that like, so for example, let's say if you lived in, I don't know, Kentucky or something, I don't know. You go to buy a property that's listed on the MLS, typically you got to have financing through a mortgage company or something like that before you make an offer on the property. You say, hey, this property is for $200,000. Will you take $199 for it, or $195? They go to the agent, go to the owner, and they say, yeah, I'll take $195. Now you got to go get financing through a mortgage company. And that's typically how it's negotiated in most states. But one thing about Texas is that Texas states can be negotiated owner financing through the agent, which doesn't happen a lot. So for example, if you live in anywhere in Texas, You can call up the agent and say, hey, this property's for $200,000. I'll give you $5,000 down, and I'll pay you $1,000 a month for the next 30 years. And then they'll present that offer, and if they take it, then the seller pays the commission through the sale of the deal, which is typically the down payment. So in theory, if you lived in Texas, you can just pretty much make 50 offers a week. Worst they can say is no. Now you're gonna need some down payment money, but there's strategies and techniques that I can teach you that you can almost, in Texas, in a lot of states really, but especially in Texas, you can almost buy a new house every month. You can buy a house every week if you really wanted to. So yeah, if that's what you want to do. Sleeping is for broke people. Shit. Yeah, I try not to sleep, but it was a time when I used to be on it, man. I used to just be like 20-hour days, man. But my body's just like, oh my goodness, I'm fucking tired. Getting old, man. Body can't do it like I used to. Let me see. How can I go through seller financing through Illinois? You got options. Can't go through an agent though. Can't go through an agent. You got to find some deals. There's ways you can do it though, right? I can't share my screen here. If I could share my screen, I could walk you through it. But that's kind of a detailed thing. I just kind of explain Texas because Texas is one of those weird states. But yeah, you can almost own or finance anything. You just got to know what you're talking about. You got to know certain techniques and ways to do it. I got a technique when it comes to buying real estate, which I really don't talk about it a lot. It's called the triple threat. If you learn how to triple threat, you can buy a house a month. You can buy a house a week if you know how to triple threat. Simple. Which link do I click? I don't know, man. Click the link in the bio. I don't know what you're looking at. Just go to the main page, or go to my Instagram and find the link there. The Rich Get Richer. It should be 2 of them. What is the process of? Can you help with the process of SBA loan? Yeah, that's what we do here. I got 6 SBA buddies, and they'll walk you through the whole sheboing. Sheboing, boing, boing. And then I'll make sure you're pre-qualified too, because I don't want you wasting their time or my time. Because you need to have your stuff together before you go knocking on someone's door talking about, I need some help. Right? How's your credit? How's your business structure? How's your down payment? Have you ever ran a business? Do you know how to run a business? What business you want to buy? How much you want to put down? How much you want to finance? Have you done any due diligence on the business? Have you reviewed the tax returns? Have you reviewed the P&L? There's a lot you got to go through. Right? And see, what's crazy is you have 4 or 5 different loan programs when it comes to the SBA. SBA Flat, SBA Express, SBA 7A, SBA 504, just a general SBA. If you want to buy a business that has property attached, now you're in the 504 program. Right? What's your requirements for a down payment? What's your requirement for credit? Right? Does it, can the business pay for the loan? And what's your loan amount going to be now? Right? You got to learn that type of stuff, man. What percentage do you need down for an investment property? Investment is subjective, but I think all properties are investor. But you want to get into a primary home, you got a VA loan, 0% down. You want to do a NACA program, 0 down. You want to do a HUD home, $1,000 down. You want to do a FHA, 3.5% down. You want to do a traditional, 5%. You want to do a conventional loan, 5%. You want to do a commercial loan, real estate, typically 20%, depending on the state. Investment property, that's not your primary home. You can get into it for 12 to 20, 25, depending on the state. If you want to do commercial real estate, apartments, typically 20%. You want to do duplex where you live in one, first property, 3.5 or 5% if it's your second property. If you want to do a triplex or a quadplex, 3.5 if it's your first unit, 0% down if it's if you're a vet or you done military service, or 5% if you already bought a property before and it's not your first property. I don't know if that answers your question, man, but hey, XRP. I'm gonna say this the nicest way as possible. Okay, do not take offense to what I'm about to say to you. Right? I'm just being nice when I say this. Okay, the nicest way possible. You sound like you kind of don't know what you're talking about. You need some true guidance. Okay. I'm not saying you're not, I'm not saying, don't take it offense. But when people are trying to pop a deal like what you're saying, they say different stuff, right? Like this. Hey man, I want to be a professional basketball player. Cool. Do you have any experience in basketball? I got some Jordans. What the fuck does Jordan got to do with you playing? Okay, like that's what you sound like. I'm not trying to be rude, but you need some help, my Brian. You need some help. I'm not saying. I'm not saying you're right or wrong. You just. I'm, I deal with businesses and real estate a lot, and when people say certain things, right? They it's I'll make you a deal. Okay. It sounds like you kind of know what you're doing, and I'm gonna give you a bone. Shoot me an email, and I'll shoot you one of my referrals. Okay. All right. Now, if he comes to me and say, "Why the hell you send me this guy?" I'm gonna be upset. Well, I won't even be upset. I'm just gonna say, I'm telling you, man. They're gonna say, you know, this is not a joke, a waste of your time. I'm not saying that you are joking, right? I need to get on a call seriously. Yes, okay, that's cool. Click the link in the bio, join the free class, man. Or you can send me an email directly, but they're going to you're gonna need more paperwork, man. I can already tell you. I can already tell you. You're gonna be wasting their time, man. I'm telling you. I don't need the class. I hire you to set up the deal. Yeah. Well, I don't. I don't have time, man. If that was the case, I'd be on damn phone all day doing other people's deals. I don't do that. I don't have time. But is home inspection profitable? It can be. You work a lot though. Start your home Kevin Gunn. Give us soft energy. No, I don't want to. I hate. I hate shooting down dreams, and I'm rooting for all of y'all. It's just from what you're saying, you're like kind of there, but you're not. I appreciate that you're like committed, but it's the equivalent of somebody saying, like you're showing up to like the Dallas Cowboys stadium, and they're like, "Yeah, I want to play football." You're like, okay, well, are you any good? You ever played before? I got these new cleats and I got a new mouth guard, and I've been practicing. Like, this is the professionals, man. This is what we do. This is you need more than just some cleats and a helmet. I think your word on it though. There's no dream. Commercial plaza with a fuel station. Since you brought up fuel, I'm gonna put you on some fuel game. Nah, I ain't gonna get into it, man. I should. Have used VA loans. I really understood what the difference. Have used veteran SBA loan. Really understand the difference. I don't know what that means. Veteran, there's no veteran SBA loan. I don't know what that means. You have a VA home loan and you have an SBA loan, not a veteran. Have you ever used a veteran? Those are two different things. A VA loan is for real estate. A SBA is a loan for a business. And now if you buy a business with real estate attached, it's still a business loan. But it's financed as a real estate, but it's still a business loan. I'm looking to get a big loan. Credit score 580. You gotta get that credit score up, man. Right? If you got with me, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna focus on rebuilding your credit, because you got to get your credit up to sixes, mid sixes. All right, and especially if you ain't got no money, right? Your credit is a 540. I can already tell you what's wrong. You have a bankruptcy and or a repossession, one of those, and you have derogatory marks, a few missed payments, and or a charge off. So we need to get rid of the repossession and the bankruptcy, and or the bankruptcy, and then we got to knock out the charge offs and the late payments. We got to build your credit profile. We got to work on your FICO score, and then we got to work on your credit scores from the bureaus. None of those derogatory marks. None of those derogatory marks and credit collections. Yeah, I knew it was something, right? You might not have had the repo. You might got a lot of hard inquiries too. So you got to get your hard inquiries under 5, which download the Credit Karma and the Experian app for free. Look how many hard inquiries you got. And that's per bureau, not just total, right? Some people are like, I got 4 inquiries. Yeah, that's 4 per bureau. That's 12. It's not just 4. Oh man, I got 12. Yeah, 12 is more than 5. And 12 times 3 bureaus, you got 36. You've applied for credit 36 times in the last 2 years, because it falls off every 2 years. So now you're desperate for credit. When people are desperate for credit, they don't get any credit. And people keep applying. I had one dude that had 96 hard inquiries. Why the hell? How many times? You applied for 30 damn... Dude, you applied for credit 90 something times in the last 2 years? You're applying every damn 3 days. What would you recommend? Well, first of all, when it comes to gas stations, a lot of people focus on the wrong things when they come to gas stations. They don't even know the numbers and the ins and outs of even focusing on gas stations. One, I would focus on a gas station if I was to buy a gas station that's close to the highways. If it's 5 miles from a major highway, like a major intersection, not like on a country road that's considered a highway. That's not the highway to me. That's the interstate. I'm talking about like the international I-95 highway. If it ain't, 2 miles, actually, if it ain't right off the exit, I wouldn't do that. 45, you're selling me, man. Don't sell me. Because you're not. You can knock off hard inquiries easy, right? Yeah, I got a credit team that does it. I don't do it. So are you an angel investor? No. I've had opportunities to take millions of dollars worth of other people's capital and invest for them. I don't do it. No, and I don't invest in other people's stuff either. Don't need to, right? I'm chilling. So if I'd like you to be within a mile from a major highway. If it's not within a mile of a major highway, it ain't for me, man. If I was to do a gas station, which I probably wouldn't. Gas stations don't make money from gas, right? Gas stations probably make 5 to 10 cents per gallon. So if a person comes into the gas station with 20 gallons, right, they're making 10 cents a gallon. Congratulations, you made $2. The majority of people who go through gas stations make their money from snacks and concessions. The markup on a damn drink is the cup costs 10 cents, the slushy costs $1.59. So you sell a slushy for $1.50, you pay 5 cents for the slushy and the material, so you make $1.40 off that. You sell 20 gallons of gas, you make $2 off of that. You sold one slushy, you make just as much as 20 gallons worth of gas. But local gas stations, a lot of people don't go into the local gas stations. They just pump their gas and bounce. Versus the ones that are close to the highway, people actually stop, they get out, and they go pee and use the bathroom. Their family go in there and use the bathroom. And then little Timmy wants some snacks. So you buy little Timmy snacks. That's why the damn gas station prices are so damn high. Like, damn, a bag of combos is $4.50 because I pay 50 cents for this shit and I sell it for $4. You got $20 worth of gas, or 20 gallons worth of gas. You make 10 cents per gallon. That's $2. You sell a bag of combos, that's $4. I'd rather sell the damn combos. I don't even want the gas no more. I'll close down a gas station and sell concessions. That's where your money is. That's why when you walk into a gas station, it's just a glorified hodgepodge of buying shit. You need a lighter. You need some cigarettes. You need lottery tickets. You need hot dogs. You need slushies. You need ding dongs. You need cupcakes. All they want to do, and that's why they put the bathrooms all the way in the freaking back. So when you come in, you got to walk through all this shit, and you're like, you know what? Let me get a snack. Now, or like you sitting at the gas station and the little guy comes on, come on in. You get a hot dog and a drink for $2.99. Hot dog bun costs them 10 cents. The hot dog costs them 10 cents. The Slurpee or the drink costs them 10 cents. That's 30 cents. $2.99. They make $2.70 off a damn hot dog and a drink. They make $2 off the 20 gallons of gas. What do you think they want to sell? Hot dogs. Hot dogs. Gas brings in people? No. Well, people need gas, but people don't need concessions. When you go to the local gas station by your house, do you go inside and buy snacks? No. You can just go to the gas station. You can go to the grocery store, or you can go to McDonald's or something like that. Right? People generally don't go to the gas station, inside the gas station on their local gas stations. People generally go inside the gas station when they're traveling off the highway. Truck drivers or people that's traveling cross country, they stop at the gas station, they pee. That's why Buc-ee's is so popular. You think Buc-ee's make money off their gas? No, they make money off the damn $12 damn barbecue they got in there. barbecue sandwich that they paid $3 for. You can buy $20 worth of gas and make $2, or you can sell a pulled pork sandwich for $10 that costs you $2. That's $8 profit. So what you want to do? You want to sell gas or you want to sell concessions? You want to sell concessions? Get a gas station near the damn highway. You want to sell gas? Get something inner city. But I tell you what, the inner city ones close down all the time. But hey, what do I know? Maybe I'm just making shit up. Anyways, that's why I say stuff like, brother, you're walking into a gym with some shoes on and a basketball thinking you can hoop with Michael Jordan. That's why I say stuff like that. And you want to buy a gas station, you should know these things. And you're just like, nah, man, I can figure it out. I'm good. Come on now. Now you're reevaluating your whole deal. Man, is this business near a major highway? You already lost, brother. That's why people hire me to do this. That's why I'm the best at this. Now, I gave you scenarios with gas stations. I can do the same thing. Laundromats. I do the same thing with any of this shit. I study this stuff, man. Any of it, any business, I'll break it down. I can talk to you about a half an hour, any business on here. But I'm not. Sometimes you got to show people that you're not out here freaking around. This stuff is not a game. I'm not out here playing around. I do this. But mainstream social media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, they get mad at me if I'm on. They get mad at me if I'm on for more than 2 hours. So I'm at 150. My time has elapsed. So make sure those social media sites, make sure you're liking, following, turn your notifications on. So next time someone just asked, could I break down wholesaling? Too easy. I've been wholesaling for 12 years. I can tell you techniques on wholesaling that you never even heard of. But make sure you're following. Make sure you come to the free class. Sign up's in the bio. It's Wednesday, 9 p.m. And turn your notifications on. So next time I get on here, you come in and ask me all the questions. I appreciate you being here. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Make sure you're following. Click the link. Join the free class. Avida Zane, my friend.